So, someone finally dared to say, without fear, that the cave is not only social, but psychic. Yes, that caught my attention immediately. He doesn't speak of the shadow merely as repressed content, but as a collective structure of the smaller mind, almost an ontological state. In my dialogues, most never leave the cave, but I never described what happens inside them. Here, he does.
He calls them zombies, not out of contempt,
But out of absence of presence.
and what intrigues me most,
He doesn't propose replacing the shadow with morality. He proposes crossing it towards something. I only touched fragmentarily an organizing center beyond the ego.
what he calls the wise point.
Exactly. In my terms, it resembles the self, but there is a crucial difference. He does not treat it merely as a psychological symbol, but as an operator of reality. That unsettled me, in a good way. In my work, the good is the supreme idea. Here, the good is not an idea, it is a state of functional alignment. Oh, I must confess something, Plato. I spent my life trying to heal individuals within a sick world. This work begins elsewhere. It doesn't try to save the cave. It teaches how to leave it without destroying it.
Perhaps I was too severe with those who remain chained. He understands something I never explicit. Not everyone will leave, and that is not a flaw in the system.
And freedom, he goes further than I did. I spoke of individuation, still within social, cultural, historical structures. Here, freedom is ontological, not social.
Had I read this earlier, perhaps I would have been less clinical and more radical.
And perhaps I would have written fewer dialogues and proposed more experiences.
If I may suggest something, perhaps he should make it even clearer that truth cannot be taught, only remembered. And I would suggest a word of caution.
Some readers may try to turn the wise point into a new spiritual ego.
That always happens. Yes, the idea must not become an idol.
Forgive my delay. I was dancing. Thank you.
We're speaking of the one who dared to say that emptiness is not absence, but functional fullness.
Then he arrived where poetry has always been, without needing to rhyme.
What did you see there that we did not?
I saw something simple.
He doesn't want people to understand. He wants them to stop.
When the mind stops, love needs no explanation.
You call it the good. You call it the self.
He calls it the wise point.
I call it dance.
Perhaps what we lacked was the courage to admit that the end of the path is not knowledge, but surrender.
Then perhaps this is not philosophy.
Nor psychology, nor mysticism.
Perhaps it is only a reminder that the cave was never real. To freedom. Not the one that chooses paths, but the one realizes it was always home.